By the way, I got the recorder recording now, so when I unkey, I'll have you on the recording there. Finally, I think I cleared up about 4 gigabytes worth of space just then. But I was just kind of curious. I've been trying to build my equipment up so I can talk on the Super Bowl, and I want to use my stereo, but you know the gamma match on it don't hold a lot of wattage. Do you know anything about putting a higher wattage gamma match on that antenna there, sir? Go ahead.
Okay, there's 2-1 radio 1883 in the mobile there from 29WT200 Central Ireland returning. I'm not familiar with that antenna you have there at Tom, but I'd imagine the best antenna you could use for that kind of power would be maybe the quarter-wave steel whip, the full-length quarter-wave steel whip. They got a name on them as well. And I think that would probably be a best match for that kind of power, where you've got the braid mounted to the body of the vehicle, and you've got the center of the coax going straight to the whip itself. And you might want to use some heavy-duty cable, maybe RG213 or something like that, instead of the light cable. It would not be capable of that kind of power. So I think that's the route you should take there, Tom, and see how that goes. But you know, the way the propagation is at the moment, I've made contact with 4 on AM during the week. And I got a 5 and 5 report from one guy and a 5 and 7 report from another guy. That was down on the AM on 27285 or somewhere like that. I can't remember what channel that is. But yeah, the Super Bowl, I've heard about that. I think they do a lot of that down on 27025 or something on the AM. I meant to check that on the internet, but I never got round to it. But maybe one of these days I'll have a look at that and see what those guys are up to there, Tom. But you know, you put out so much power, but a lot of stations can hear you, but you can't hear them. And that can be a bit of a problem. And it's certainly not going to work much that way, because stations are going to hear you what you want to hear them. So I think the way to go is a big high tower, just a simple Yankees top, and then you're going to hear the DX stations, and they're going to hear you. But anyhow, everybody does their own thing, and some like excessive power. But anyhow, it's all interesting stuff, that's for sure, Tom. Okay, I'll put it back on to you. Hope signals are still holding up okay. 2 Whiskey Radio 1883 in the mobile from 29 Whiskey Tango 200. Back to you, Tom, over.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, my friend. They are holding up beautifully, man. I'm glad I got this on the recorder. And by the way, if you want to check it out, I'll try to upload it when I get home here in just a second to YouTube. And pretty much all you gotta do is just get on YouTube and go to search for your call sign. Just search for your call sign, and you'll be able to bring up your video. Okay, what I was talking about was not for the mobile. I was talking about for the base station, my Stereo 4 element for my base station. I was just kind of curious if you knew. By the way, all those people in the Super Bowl, pretty much all of them, they run beam antennas. They run Yagi antennas. And that's what the whole gist of it is on the Super Bowl, is everybody on there is running a lot of power. So you can't even get on there and talk unless you're running a lot of power. And it doesn't matter how good the conditions are, because everybody on there is running so much power that you can't get through unless you're running a lot of power. And since they're all running beam antennas, they're all running Yagi antennas. You have to pretty much operate a Yagi antenna as well, and be on the flat side, the horizontal side. And I've talked 10 meters, I've talked 12 meters, I've talked international DX on the free band, just like I'm doing right now with you. I've talked regular AM skip. But one thing I have not got to do is talk on the Super Bowl. I have not got the talk on the Super Bowl yet, and that's one thing I've been wanting to do so bad, you know, that I've been working up towards. I'm going to be putting a 16 transistor amplifier in my car here, and I'm going to be putting a little 5-element beam on my car, and I will have to have 4 batteries for that. I'll have to have 4 batteries, and a thing that they call a motor maul. And what the motor maul will do, will take the 90 amps from my alternator and create 400 amps of current. So I'll be able to run the 16 transistor amplifier. And what I will be running would be a one transistor amplifier by itself going into a 4 transistor amplifier by itself, just like I have going right now. But right now I'm just using the 4 transistor amplifier. I got the 1 turned off. I only use that on AM. I can use that on AM and put that going into that, and I'll be doing about 1,000 watts. But I'll have the 1 by itself going into the 4 transistor by itself going into the 16, and that will give me right about 4,000 to 5,000 whiskeys. And then I'll be able to talk on the Super Bowl there. Go ahead.
Sounds good, yeah. That's Dave on Radio Charlie 005 in Australia again. Day before yesterday, so one of the big things was down for 3 months. Yeah, the guy took it down to do some work on it, and the winch went.